Hello YouTube, this is Wonderboots here. Now today what we are going to do is we are going to take a look at some of the new content that will potentially be coming to Subnautica 2 in future updates, as well as some sneak peeks into new types of adaptations, cut content, and as well as other stuff. Now, if you don't mind spoilers, then stick around. If you my wing has duplicated itself. Okay, I'm assuming that'll be fixed in the future. So I want a multiplayer save for me and my friends. But I'm using a different save just so that we can mess around with some stuff. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to turn myself into God mode. I'm going to also remove the fog just so that we can see things better. If you're curious, this is what the bottom of the hole looks like without the fog on. There's an invisible floor at the bottom. There is also a smiley face down there that the developers put inside for the fun of it. So let's go down, make sure there's walls around us, because the Trident really, at the moment, really loves deciding to just, well, go sideways and just disappear into the void. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open this up, spawn Trident, and there we go, it's got stuck on the pole. So this is the new Trident, which is obviously an unfinished model. So it looks like we're going to have free proportion thrust on the back, as well as windows on the side, which is going to be a lot nicer than the Cyclops, because the Cyclops has only got the front windows and you can't really see outside. So it looks like this is going to be a... I believe these are the cameras or tractor beams on the side of the thing, because there is a tractor beam station there. I'm assuming that these two boxes might be tractor beams and these are the camera stations. So if we go inside, we will not go on the tractor beam station because that soft locks you into the menu and you can't do anything. So let's go look at, so I'm assuming this is the power room. So as you can see, we can charge by geothermal vents in the future for the Trident. Now there is storage and stuff, which I don't want to open it because lots of these menus are unfinished, and if when you open them there are no back options to get out. So you can see we've got a power station, we've got a breaker, we have the status of the engine, which as the Cyclops have is the low speed, medium speed, full speed. I'm assuming full speed may overload the engine. We also have the ladder to go to the oxygen level. There's also a filter, which I'm assuming is the oxygen filter to make oxygen on the Trident. Some unfinished station here. We have a window section so you can see outside the Trident, looking properly for potential dangers or threats. So I'm assuming this is designed intentionally with a crew in mind of multiple people. So we have our system status panel here in the top middle of the bridge. So we have our oxygen level, we have the oxygen filter status, which I'm assuming that degrades over time. We have our power, and we have the transformer alignment, which I have no idea what that would be, but it sounds exciting. So we have a overall damage station, which I'm assuming multiple parts of the Trident needs to be repaired and maintained. So right now when I was experimenting, this black is actually like full HP, and it goes from the left to the right in the obviously the debug stage, show how much damage each part has taken. So you can see the Trident engine system, helm, hull, oxygenator, power, scanner, and docking bay, which I'll be showing you a sec the docking bay, which I think there are 4 slots to the docking bay. So if we go down to the docking bay, so you can see we've got 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I'm assuming you can probably dock 4 tadpoles inside of here to be able to take in and out and about. So I'm assuming you can probably also maybe build on this. So wait, let me go to interior facilities. No, it's not. It hasn't got buildable collision yet, but I'm assuming you could probably place lockers and stuff inside this ship, maybe like the Cyclops. So if you go over to past the damage station, you can see there's an onboard fabricator, and For some reason, so far, I believe it's for testing, but there are one of each type of tools on these wall mounts over here. Probably just for a template or for just example for prototyping, but I'm assuming that's what that's there for. So if we go to the front, we have...
The station will help you locate the geothermal vents and mining sites you need to complete your mission. Use your EMT to align the external scanners on top of the Trident and improve your scanning range.
So yeah, as you could they just explained it for me. This is a scanner station, and on top there is this EMT scanner. And I'm assuming there's going to be a job or role on the Trident when you align the EMT to find the resource nodes you need to be able to scan it, and that way you can find resources better in geothermal vents to charge your Trident. Now at the front we also have a miniature radar on the driver station, so that probably the driver and the person working the scanner can communicate with each other to be able to find geothermal vents and resources. So you have your obviously heads-up display for your energy. You have your overall system overlay, which I'm assuming this is like a damage indication overlay. So let's say if the engine was damaged, you'd be able to see, hey guys, you know, this engine's damaged over here. Can you go check that out? Or the bridge is damaged on the lower in the docking bay. And I'm really excited to see this fully finished. It seems really cool and pretty great. So we have our engine mode, so we can set, as you can see, the buttons are not functional fully yet. I see how it works. Okay, so it's not you select what button, you choose. Clicking alternates between the engines and stuff. Okay, so you can see there is a players on board status screen, which is very nice. So you can see how many players are actually on the Trident. So we also have another status board here, which shows the basic stuff. And I'm assuming this is the camera station, which I'm not going to use because I believe that will probably break my game. So yeah, this is the Trident. Oh, so we do have some example of like storage lockers on the ship. I'm assuming this might be a template or might be storage on the Trident. So you can open up the storage, perfectly fine, that works. If you eventually get 3 lockers. So if we go down, just double check I haven't missed anything. So I'm assuming this is the power station at the back, which I'm assuming you could probably store power cells or batteries or something inside here to keep the engine powered. We have our flood controls, which will explain. So EMT, I'm assuming is like an electromagnetic tool. So these flood controls control, obviously, I say if there's a breach, water will start flooding in. I'm assuming this will control how much water goes in and out of the Trident in each section. I'm assuming each one of these doorways will be a bulk door, which you need to section off the damage of the Trident to stop water flooding. And these grates will obviously drain out the water outside of the Trident to stop sections of the ship flooding. So not just dealing with just enemies hitting you, but enemies hitting you specific sections or specific damage in specific parts and compartments of the Trident, which sounds really interesting. Overall, it's probably got the same sort of layout as like the Cyclops, one ladder at the front, one ladder at the back, the bottom part of the ship, and then you also got the bottom exit on the front. I'm assuming there maybe a bottom exit on the back. No. So we got one exit at the front, 4 exits on the side, which I'm assuming they'll have doors on to hold the tadpoles or one of these meshes like the bases do on the thing. So yeah, we can actually drive this Trident. So let me go and drive this Trident. So engines are off. Let's turn them onto a low speed. I just sounded the horn. That's cool. So there is a horn. Let me toggle the fog back on. F2. Let's put the fog back on, so you can see how powerful this light is. Where is the fog? There we go. That's a pretty bright light, guys. Oh yeah. So as you can see, at the moment, this thing just likes to drive sideways. And we're out into the Reaper Leviathan area. Okay. This is not good. Let's just side drift back into the playable area. So as you can see, this is fairly buggy and unfinished. Okay, we've hit something. So as you see, we hit something and the alarm sounded. So I'm just going to. We can't even toggle the engines anymore. Oh, and I'm being pushed out of the. Okay, well I'm back in the playable area now, and the Trident's now gone. Oh, there it is. Off it goes. So yeah, as you can see, the Trident is very buggy at the moment. Obviously, it's completely unfinished, so we'll just load game on back to my manual save because I don't want my multiplayer save to be ruined by that. So let's also take a look at some cut content which was meant to be in the game but was completely removed. So if we go to our spawn item menu, there's an energy muffin, which I'm assuming is a muffin you can craft. It gives you food and water, which is, which would have been nice. That's a pretty good comparison against other food, which I don't understand why it was cut, unless it was too easy to craft, or they just thought, a muffin right at the beginning of the game wasn't very good. So you can eat that muffin. Let's see, what else do we have? We have a cyst souffle, which is very interesting because this item actually gives you oxygen as a food item. So this has been cut from the game. As you can see, it says this asset's unpublished. There's a cut content, please bug. So it's a cyst souffle. I'm assuming you make it from the bloom cysts, maybe. And that's why they cut from the game, because you don't want to eat the wild tree. The wild tree's evil. So let's just eat that. Why not? So we've also got bubbly cystic soup as well, which is another interesting one. This item also gives you oxygen, which I'm assuming would be kind of busted because you could just fill up your inventory full of these items and go wherever you please without worrying too much about oxygen. So I'm assuming that's partly where they cut and partly because it doesn't fit the narrative of the story. So it's very interesting. It gives you 35 food, 30 health, 10 oxygen. Can you hold this item in your hand? You can. It's absolutely nothing. Just gonna consume this nothing. Okay. Moving on. So we have so we got some new items, probably coming. So we got see the placeholders for stuff. We got ferrofluid crystal, which is a placeholder for now. Which that's very big. What is that? Oh, that's very interesting. So I'm assuming this will be coming up for the new crafting for a Trident or something. So that's very interesting. We also have. Let's have a look. See here. We also have some new funky fruit pearls. So we got Fordite. Colourful industrial waste, like the plastic you all get in your brains, yet you wave your hands like you just don't care. Great for fuel, drill, baby, drill. So I'm assuming this is for what it said about the drilling and stuff. Let's have a look at that. Yeah, it looks very unfinished, but it's only a placeholder, so very interesting resource. It's got its own nuclear glow, as it said, looks very plasticky. We also have we've got an Axiom data cache, which I'm assuming is going to be for some new recipes and stuff. So let's drop that. It's just so I'm assuming this would be like alien tech. That's a box. That's like a panel to interact with. That's the data box, access panel, and that's where we have our own caches and stuff. Can I scan this? I can indeed scan this. What did that give me? I don't know, but it's unfinished, so I can equip it. So I'm assuming this would be used for something in the story later down the line. That was his placeholder, so it's planned to be implemented. Can't wait to see how that works into the story. So we have a new funky fruit. Asset is unpublished. Makes you feel the music. Let's have a look. See. Oh, it is just green at the moment. Very funky. It's like a giant grape. Let's consume that. I feel the music. Okay. Also, look. So we got a pearl chunk, which just looks like quartz at the moment. Whoa, that does not look like quartz. That looks like a big chunk of blue something. Very unfinished texture, but you know, this is all unfinished placeholder stuff, so I kind of see where they're going with this. So a valuable chunk of giant pearls native to this area, coveted by many, including locals that don't like to share. So I'm assuming, based on this description, there will be a type of creature that will probably guard these pearl chunks, or doesn't like you taking them. Probably like a crab, like, you know, the coral crabs. They have pearls inside. They have quartz inside their crystals. So maybe there's like a giant clam that has pearls inside of it that doesn't like to share. So I'm assuming we'll have some kind of clam type of enemy, maybe potentially. This is just me spitballing ideas here. So we also, let's see, got algae, etching acid, which I've seen that. This has the cooked quadrate. I got that already. Okay, so we've got a floating locker that's been removed. One, do not use floating locker. Unpublished item, do not use floating locker via cheat. Okay. Okay, so this is like a cut floating locker. Let me just turn on no dehydrate, no suffocate, no starve. And let's turn the fog off again. There we go. Let's go to, I can't go to my bio, but it wouldn't let me. So this is unfinished. Interesting. It's like exact same as the thing, but just completely unfinished. Maybe they scrapped that one and favored the other one. Let's look at some other stuff as well. Got some test items, test type, test actors, Veps jelly, Veps egg. Got the wake maker salvage, water slug, well target, wire bundle, wiring kit. Those are all items that I've seen in the game. There we go, the EMT, which is electromagnetic torsioner. Okay, yeah. So electromagnetic is electromagnetic tool, but it's electromagnetic torsion. I'm assuming this is the new tool for the it's a quick pop-up that says extra info when I equip that. Interesting. So I'm assuming this will be the new tool for the Cyclops, the Trident. So I wonder if it has a texture. Let's go inside and drop this on the floor, see if it has a model. It does. It looks like a little wrench. So let me drop this outside and we'll have a look-see. Here it is, the EMT. It looks like a little handheld wrench. Very interesting. I'm assuming the model is not fully finished because it's not very detailed. But it does look interesting. Let me see if I can drop this on top of the base so we get a better look. See, I'm stuck in between tubes. Let's try and drop it here. There we go. So yeah, it's just got a barriered bomb. It's a little torque wrench, so that will be used for the valves on the Trident. So that'll be interesting. So the biosampling get the bioscanner. That's interesting. Yeah, I think that's some of the content that I can look at. So most of it's unfinished and isn't really worth looking at yet. It's just placeholders. So there's a lot of it. Placeholder for delete, placeholder for fix or delete. So a lot of it, obviously, I'm assuming is quite buggy, and they want them to fix it or scrap it, very much. Can be deconstructed. What is this? Requires builder to deconstruct. Oh, that just gives me shit ton of resources, okay. I mean, why not? A lot of it's the same as the other one. Just placing shit. Blueprint, Anemone, sample, ration, cutting, floating walker. Oh! I accidentally spawned lead. Okay. So yeah, there's a lot of interesting stuff. If you do want to get this menu, I will put the video for the installation and the links to the mods from Nexus on the description. There's a lot of cool things you can look at here. You can see some in-depth stuff. There is a more in-depth version of this for mod development, which is what I'm interested in learning about. Also, if you put in, which will help with mod development, if you put in this on your launch parameters, this will display a separate log for when you launch Subnautica 2. This will also display entities, so you can see the case spacing, the name spacing, folder construction for spawning stuff. It also lists a lot of events and stuff that trigger during playing the game, so it'll be good for documenting and understanding the game as a whole for development teams. I've been taking a detailed look at it when I'm playing around, especially in multiplayer. So you can see events and triggers that fire when players interact with certain objects and events, which is pretty cool. I'm glad they kind of left the log in that isn't being completely cut from the game, because that's very handy to view stuff. So anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this little sneak peek of what potentially is coming to Subnautica 2. Anyway guys, I hope you do have a good day. There'll probably be more videos from me in the future about some other interesting glitches and features in Subnautica 2, and I hope you guys have a good day.